beautiful people. Good evening. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Point of View. But first, let's welcome back Danielle to the show. Woo!
Hey, y'all.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
So coming up, JayZ, Chris Brown, and Tony Buzbee are all making headlines, but for very different reasons. One came out on top, and the other might have just dug himself into a deeper hole. Later in Girlfriend's Guide, the average wedding in the United States cost $33,000. But is this price worth it if you're just going to end up in debt?
Oh.
Well, we have a lot to get into today, so pull up a seat and get ready to join the discussion. You're watching POV. JayZ sued attorney Tony Buzbee for defamation and civil extortion after Buzbee's client accused him of rape, an accusation that was later dropped. JayZ claimed those public threats cost him millions in business deals. But just last week, a judge dismissed the case, calling it worthless. Tony Buzbee is flipping the script and going after JayZ's lawyers for damages, claiming they dragged him through the legal mud for no good reason. So what does this mean for JayZ? What y'all think about this case?
I feel like it's a bunch of malarkey.
Okay.
And I feel like, it's really like a game of tug of war at this point. For JayZ's case, going after Tony Buzbee to get thrown out, and then now Tony's coming back after him. It's just too much back and forth.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like the same way, JayZ is saying that he lost millions of dollars. There were deals that were on the table, lines of credits, all these things. I believe that is very feasible and it does make sense. But if the judge said that it wasn't substantial, it was a worthless case, and the same should be found with this case for Buzbee, period.
Yeah, because I think if someone accuses you, and of course if you did not do it, of raping a 13-year-old girl, she was, I think, back in 2000.
That's really crazy.
That is. Yes. They put JayZ and Diddy together, saying they did this to this young girl, this little girl. And so she says that the way how the case got dropped, I think, is that she had said that she was pushed by Buzbee to say that JayZ did this to her. So then,
with Diddy.
Yeah. Diddy, no. Nobody said he didn't do it.
Okay.
But it said JayZ didn't do it.
Okay.
And so then after that, he's like, wait, this is defaming my character.
Right.
I'm going to sue about this, which I think would make sense because apparently you're losing money over this.
I completely get what you're saying because, yes. However, he could technically have a case because whether he was innocent or not, you lost money. This is something that's a serious allegation, like we said. Accusation, like we said. Yeah, JayZ.
Yeah, but they threw the case out.
Right, but that doesn't change the fact that people thought he did it. His name, him losing whatever deal he made. So technically, he could have a case.
If it's not true or proven true, it's defamation.
Yeah.
But so the case that we're, asking about now is, Tony Buzbee, the lawyer who brought the charges against JayZ, now he's suing JayZ. So
JayZ's attorneys. He's suing JayZ's attorneys.
Which the money got to come from JayZ. The attorneys ain't going to pay.
Right. It's going to come from JayZ. Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Right. But I think at that point, then just clear the table of this altogether.
If I was that judge, I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to hear nothing
Throw it all
else.
away.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm
Nothing
in
else
my face
regarding
right now. I got more serious cases to worry about.
Hello.
And there was at one time...
We're not saying that rape is not serious. Hold on.
No, it's
Right.
very serious.
No.
But the accusations and such.
At one point, Buzbee had 120 alleged victims
From Diddy.
from the Diddy case.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And apparently he was suing, so there was a lawsuit of saying that JayZ had hired people to pretend to be like officers of the law to Google it. That's what it is. It was something like that, accusing people to be officers. He had hired people to be officers of the law to intimidate. To take.
I'm staying with you, sister. Come on,
because I'm thinking I'm trying to remember to take clients from Buzbee's firm. I guess as it was centered around the P. Diddy case. So that's the reason why they had this whole lawsuit. Oh, it's a whole thing. You got
Everybody
to
just trying to eat.
You
They
got to
see
Google
one or
it.
two people
Okay.
getting something.
Because
let me try.
TMZ had said something. It was an agreement between the attorneys that they dropped the lawsuit if this happened and this happened, and then some fallout happened with that. Oh, it's a whole scandal. They got a lot going on. These people.
Yeah, they
and
do.
The men are very dramatic.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And the whole case is very dramatic.
it's just a lot to unpack, but
Yeah.
it's also like not too far off to believe that JayZ had absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Can
I
you
mean,
prove
that's not fair.
Right,
That's
right.
Not, right. That's not fair to say because anything could be said about any one of us that
Anyone.
have any friends that, do some
Yeah.
undesirable, things. So,
Yeah.
that's not fair to say. Even though, I mean, it would make sense, which also I feel like leads to the fact that it was very convenient for, Tony Buzbee to come out and say this with all that was going on with Diddy. And we
Yep.
know JayZ's always with Diddy and they're so close,
Right.
so.
And they were
So
trying to
is it
catch all the
true?
people though. Like they
Yeah.
were like, Diddy wasn't doing like he did a lot, but he didn't do all this alone. Like all
Yeah.
those parties and all that. They was like,
So it's
And
almost
that's
like
had
saying
some-
association
Guilty
has
by
brought on this
association, yeah.
simulation, and y'all doing the same thing because y'all associate.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I don't mind. Everyone should go down, whatever the color, race, or creed is. But I do want to see some of these white people being brought to justice as well.
you're not wrong.
Yeah, because it seems like a lot of black people are being targeted. I'm not saying they didn't do anything, but that's all we're hearing.
Bring them
about.
all in. Bring
That's
them all
all
in.
we're hearing about going to court, being
Everybody
extorted
wants-
or
yep.
being sued or going to criminal cases. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in
Yeah, you see,
higher ups
people,
in
they moving
leadership.
out. They moving
The
out the
1%.
country.
Yes.
But it's like they said, like as soon as it was like first it was R. Kelly back in, now it's Diddy, and then they said it was just they said that all of that was going to be exposed, and the people that Diddy was paying off once those assets were seized and all that stuff was going to start coming out because all of the people that were being paid to be quiet
Yeah.
are no longer being paid, and things are going to start coming out. People's names are going to be dropped. Things that are happening. They've been saying this since.
They've been saying it since the last administration when Trump was in, that all these names with Epstein, all these names is
Right.
going to come out, the books.
Right.
We haven't heard a thing yet.
Right.
Well, we heard a lot of people with Diddy now, the pastors, and it was some people that got
Yeah,
exposed a little bit
those
now.
are loose underlying strings, but I feel like the higher ups have been going around
Yes.
frantically tying up all them
Oh, they
strings.
nervous.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
been nervous.
Oh, yeah.
But when you
Absolutely.
kind of own the law, when you're writing the law, I mean, does it really come after you?
Right.
That's a thing.
Really not. We got a
We got our president rewriting it in real time.
hello.
Uh-oh. Well, speaking of the law and lawsuits and all this stuff, here's Chris Brown back in the headlines, but this time the $16 million lawsuit against him has been dropped. A music producer has accused him. A music producer who accused him of a brutal nightclub assault involving a bottle and serious stomping officially dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning it can't be refiled. But don't celebrate just yet, because I did, because a lot of people around here waiting for the concert.
Okay.
Chris Brown still faces criminal charges in the UK for grievous bodily harm and assault with a weapon. Those cases are very much ongoing. So, I mean, I don't know. This may jeopardize the concert.
Baby, if you're dropping that, go
waiting.
ahead and drop the rest, and we'll see you in August and wherever other cities and states you're in. We'll see you on the tour.
I wonder if this is one of those situations where it's like, there's a domestic violence case or something like that, and maybe like the victim or someone will drop their charge, but the state still picks it up because
Right.
that's kind of what this
That's what it
sounds
sounds
like.
like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the producer, they probably done paid him off, so he said, I'll let
Exactly.
mine go.
Exactly.
But the UK is saying, baby, we ain't let it go.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
So
the
that's
prosecutors
interesting.
are still after.
And what's the
it.
timeline?
I don't know about August.
Well, he got prior.
Well, we in July, so we gonna hope that amen.
Well, at least he ain't losing the $16 million that he just got from all them sold out concerts he was
Ooh.
doing. Not saying he was
say.
broke or anything. I'm just
No.
saying let the man keep his money now.
But if he goes to jail and they did say that it would be a breach of contract and he would owe a lot of money back to
course.
these venues in the
Of
UK
course.
and wherever else because he's not able to show up.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yikes.
Lord, just let that man go.
I know at this point, but I want him to do better. Like, I think he's come so far with all the things that he's been through, but it's like you can't, as a person of status in that realm, you can't let people bother you like that. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but
Right.
like, you're way, like, look how much you have to lose. Like, you're way too high up to be like You beating somebody in the club with the bottle, like they made you that upset. Like you couldn't just get security to kick them out. Like, come on now, you not even your henchmen, your bodyguards. Like you had to be the one to do it. Come on now, let's think smarter, not harder.
Right. We see this happen all the time, especially in Black and brown communities. I don't know if this is like a fight for street credibility, especially for somebody like Chris Brown that's doing electric slide and all the Michael Jackson moves all over the place. I'm sure he wants to be. What? If he is, whatever he is, they probably just let him in because he knew how to do the crit walk. So I mean, I'm just saying.
That's the prerequisite.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all due respect to him, but this is what happens when that pride and ego get in the way. I'm at a point in my life, baby, you could think I am the softest cookie on the playground at this point. Right. You're going to jail.
By yourself. By yourself, not with me.
Danielle, you have tickets for this concert.
And I do. Waiting. I will see him in August.
So when you heard about this, okay.
Prayerfully.
So the impact
what they say, the power of the tongue, I will see him in
Tampa
at that concert. Okay? Amen.
Tampa. Okay.
Two will be there.
Hello.
Oh, you too? You have tickets as well?
Amen.
Huh?
Okay.
There's a will, there's a way.
Judy said she getting them
scouts last minute. She gonna be backstage, baby.
I will be there.
We have 2 tickets out here right now on the site right
now. Well, we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Girlfriend's Guide is coming up right after this, so stay tuned. You're watching POV.
Emily, thank you for tuning in. What's up, social media family? And thank you so much for tuning in to the show today. It is Tuesday?
Yes.
And I got a question. So, name something extremely unsanitary, but everyone seems to do it anyway.
You know what? I got something right off the bat. When I be coming up here rushing late to set with my dry lips, asking one of y'all hustlers for lip gloss. So unsanitary.
Okay.
But I be doing it anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna say walking barefoot in public.
Cause why? And sitting on the floor in public. Cause why you in the airport on the floor?
Yeah. Well,
why your kid?
It's different. It's different.
No.
I've been on the air. I've been on the airport before.
But like,
the seat's not comfortable. If I got like a layover, honey, I'm gonna get on that.
It's anywhere, but it don't be us. Okay. It be like I was at Ross. Why your kid on the ground on the floor? Like get up.
Well, that's a child.
I'm
talking about
I'm
talking about grown people walking around with
get you and your child off the floor.
I do that, Julie.
People walking around with no socks on anywhere, concrete, the grocery store. It don't matter. They will take them shoes off and they will just walk.
Well, what about outside in front of your house or in the yard?
I'm gonna be barefoot, baby, and I don't care what
I'm barefoot.
I walk grounded.
You in the country because that's what country people do.
I walk down the street to my neighbor with no shoes. I forget it. I just walked out the house.
Listen, but you know one thing that really bothers me, and I have to say this. This is a pet peeve of mine, so unsanitary. When you see people put their towel or their clothes on the top of the toilet. And don't lie, 'cause some of y'all probably be doing that.
I do it, but I bleach it first.
Jesus, that is so nasty to me.
I don't put it there, but...
Oh my gosh, I know during those commercial breaks, like we talk about a lot of stuff. We have a lot to say during those times. Well, welcome back. This is part of the show where we dive into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. Weddings are beautiful, but let's talk about that price tag. The national average cost of a wedding in 2024, the average cost, y'all, was $33,000, and some went well over $100,000. But here's the thing: 63% of Americans say they'd struggle to cover a $500 emergency. Yet 67% of newlyweds are going into debt for one day. So is going broke for the big day really worth it?
Yes, it is, baby. Every girl deserves to have her Cinderella moment. Yes, it is.
might be
But
the
you,
only
you
one
shouldn't be going into debt, though.
I
might be the only one that says
They
no.
go into debt for less.
And guess what?
Okay.
But guess what? People doing all of this for the wedding, and how long does the marriage last?
But
I don't
guess
got
what?
nothing to do
But
with
no,
that.
guess what?
Now y'all both
But
know.
you missed the whole point.
I
I'm
didn't.
talking about the relationship.
I'm
not talking about
That's
the
the
relationship.
problem. Is the priorities. That's the problem.
No, I'm not.
Because it's not
talking
about the
listen,
wedding. It's about the relationship.
I'm not talking. We're talking about the wedding. We're not talking
Right.
about the
So you gonna go
relationship.
broke. So you ain't gonna have no house. You know, like the
But it's a
priorities
very
after the
individual-
wedding.
No, that's an individual thing.
We
That's
talking about being broke though. Is it worth being broke after
And,
the
and
wedding?
500,
Yes.
and you can't.
Okay.
It is worth. The
So
debt.
so y'all gonna be homeless, married,
No.
and having a grand
And you
wedding.
can't
That would never be me. I'm gonna have a grand wedding and I'm gonna have a grand relationship. You hear
That's
me?
not what the question was.
I'm
though.
telling you what I'm gonna have.
And the question says that they are not able. People would say they cannot cover a $500 emergency. Yet 67% of people are willing to go in debt.
Now, are we talking about emergency or that emergency room visit where they say, can you pay $50 and you say no?
that's
In the ambulance.
$500.
It's the $500 ambulance ride.
Not you need the clarification, right?
I need to know, baby, because they never get
Either or.
Oh my God. Are people chasing a moment or the meaning behind it?
Yes.
No.
Everybody want to go viral.
Let me tell y'all what
that's the
the
problem.
issue
That's-
is.
that's the
The
problem.
issue is that these mamas don't have no savings to get their daughter away. What happened to dowry? What happened to the
thought the daddy was
what
supposed
hap-
to pay.
No, the bride's family is
Well,
supposed to
yeah.
pay, and half of them ain't got no daddy. So I mean, God forgive me, but I'm just saying.
Tally needed to say that.
Lord,
That
I'm
was
just
for
saying.
somebody at home, not us.
I'm just saying that it does motivate me as well to make sure that I have something put aside for when my daughter
Yes.
decides, you know what I'm saying, to be able to
Yeah.
contribute so that they're not getting into debt.
Yes.
But right now, all these mamas want to come in with all their stipulations. They want to sit front row.
It's
They
they
want a
wedding.
gown bigger than the
Yeah.
bride gown
Okay,
and don't have
because it's for
5
them.
cents to
It's-
contribute.
It's for them.
And
It's for
that's,
them.
and so that's why people are going in debt, huh?
It's
Because
a
it's
few
for everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not really for the bride and the groom.
Correct.
And, yeah, they're going in debt because their mama want to invite the best friend from
If
5th
that's what the
grade.
bride wants, then
Yeah.
by all means. But like living outside of it, like going broke and not having anything
Yeah, that's
after that,
ridiculous.
like
Yeah.
no, not being able to have a house, not being able to go
You're not
to a
really
honeymoon.
ready for the
like,
wedding.
I actually agree, but
agree with
that's
you.
not
You're not ready.
where their mindsets are these days. Like it's a different
Wow.
priorities.
Yeah, I wanna
30,000 is
have-
a lot of money. Though.
I'm definitely going to have my Cinderella moment.
Yeah.
But
You
I
should,
also
though.
would say I do have priorities that trump that. And so there are things that we're doing and have been doing leading up to that. And I ain't gonna say I ain't going to no courthouse, but my pastor could marry me on any given Wednesday after service at the house, and then I'll have my wedding whenever.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, the weddings are a big deal.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people are really doing it for other people. They're doing it for the looks. I mean, I've seen some weddings that are so lavish. I mean, look at Bezos. I mean, even though he has the money, though. But I mean, all of that is that you. I mean, you're shutting down Italy or this city in Italy for
I
this
think
wedding.
that's
for what
more of a
reason?
status thing, though.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
It really
that's
makes no
like
sense
your
to me.
average wedding. Like
Oh, well,
we're
that's
talking
definitely
about,
not
like,
your average. Because
wedding.
not average people got billions of dollars.
Okay.
Hello.
Didn't Jeff Bezos send him on that fake trip to the moon the other day? So he got it.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
He-
so
he
he
staged the
he could
production,
do whatever
okay?
he needed to.
Right. They took off and went and came back down.
Yeah.
They didn't go anywhere. honey.
Exactly.
What does
Honestly.
it say
Go
about
anywhere.
people when they're willing to spend all this money on a wedding, but then they don't have money to cover the emergencies? Is this like bad financial planning? You're not good with money?
Yes, because
priorities are out of whack.
Yeah, they're not. I don't feel like you're actually ready for a wedding if you don't have enough. Like, because okay, you're gonna have this grand wedding, and then what you gonna do for the honeymoon? There's a honeymoon right after the wedding. So where are you going?
International drive.
Listen,
Staycation.
Girl,
That's all they're gonna have money for. If that, they're gonna
I
get
wish
an Airbnb on
somebody
Paramore.
thought to
at
give
this
me.
point.
Well, I heard there's a spot that in Universal City Walk that you could take a little ferry or something. It looks like Paris.
Raquel. I know you're not talking about Portofino Bay.
And she is.
I am so done.
Apparently, I guess
My
I
Girl,
am.
I got to go.
My one request
what?
has got to be, if we're talking about weddings real quick before we wrap this one up, can we get back to black people bringing a wedding gift to the wedding?
Hello.
Black people bring gifts to weddings.
Not
Some of them can't even RSVP on time and expect to have a seat and a plate.
Oh, my
So let's
goodness.
be.
Oh, no, we're not going to talk about the blacks. We're
Lord
not gonna
help
do
our
it.
people. Amen.
All right, we're going to move on to our final segment of the day. Let's get into mind, body, and soul. All right. Let's talk about something that doesn't always get enough attention when we talk about wellness. Friendship loss. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm triggered already. I gotta go.
I'm totally triggered. A new study says 91% of people lose touch with someone they once considered a best friend.
Oh, it's too much.
Not because of drama, though, but because of life, growth, and distance. And while we may move on, those bonds still leave an emotional imprint. So today, we're asking, how do you care for yourselves when the friendship that once grounded us start to fade? And can letting go be a part of healing too?
Yes.
I just lost my baby boy of 15 years. Mm-hmm. And that's hard because I had it for 15 years. And let me tell you, it's only been 3 weeks almost. And it's really hurtful. Yeah. Of course, it felt like drama because it happened so instantly. But that's my baby boy. Mm-hmm. And for my friendship, my companionship, my love with him to just end, I'm so hurt. Oh, it was hard when I said this. I said, oh my gosh, I got to say this today. Yeah, so.
I'm so sorry, Raquel.
Yes, we love you.
We miss him
Lee.
too.
Thank you. I know you cried.
I did cry.
You cried.
I cried like a baby. I cried like I raised Bentley myself. I sat out there, me and Raquel hugged for like 15 minutes just crying.
We did.
That was very sad.
Yeah. He touched a lot of people around here. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good. Going to people. No shade, but I think that.
She said to people.
Sorry.
Wait 1 minute.
I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, I do believe that it could be a part of growth, and I do stand by the statement. I think it says like some people are in your life for a season.
Yes.
Regardless of how it hurts or how you may be affected by the loss. Sometimes it's good to like think about like, well, dang, what happened, or like kind of dissect it and like see what really happened, or if it's just growth, like literally, like just unpacking it and just kind of being like, okay, like this didn't go well, or maybe it just happened because it happened, and I see the better side. I appreciate the times, the friendship, the talks, whatever. But like maybe it's finally time to move on.
That was our time, yeah.
Yeah, like I had situations, but like mine was kind of like, I wouldn't say drama, but it happened and it ended, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And some of them, two of them, I can't even tell you why it ended because I don't know, but it ended. And at first I had to deal with it. Now it's kind of like, it is what it is, but did it hurt? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that was my question, that a thought that I had when it comes to friendships and family is growing apart sometimes. Like, is it a bad thing or is it like a sign of growth? And I think that's what you kind of just spoke to. Like, a lot of times I feel like it is a sign of growth, and we just have to, let it play out the way that God ordained. And I feel like sometimes we have, obligations and just bonds that we build with people because we think that we know how we want our life to play out and who we want it to play out with. But ultimately, like, God has a design for us. And so I feel like sometimes we cause ourselves more trauma when we try to hold on to things that just no longer serve his plan for our life.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I felt that way back to companions that are 4 legs. That has 4 legs. I felt that way though. When it happened, it happened so suddenly, but I did feel that way. Like I felt like God was saying, it's time. It's time to move on. It's time for him to move on, and you have to grow without him right now. And this is that time. And even my friend said it, and it felt like it was confirmation when he said that to me. And I was like, yeah, I felt that in my spirit, but it doesn't stop the hurt right now.
Yeah, and I know that you're having a moment, right now, and, we honor that. But, for it to only be 3 weeks, you have been super graceful, in your grieving process, and you're still moving along. And so we celebrate you for that and, for the life and love that you guys shared.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You about to make me cry, girl.
No, don't do it.
I was going to say, in the midst of all of this, friendship talk, I was going to say that I feel like sometimes when friendships, drift apart, I feel like you can always tell, like, when you're not there no more, and like it's like a relationship, right? When you get out of a toxic relationship, not even saying that the friendship was toxic, but like you notice things, and then all of a sudden get so overwhelmed with blessings, like just so many good things just start pouring into your life, and it's just like, dang, like, was you one of those things that was just like holding me back from where I was actually supposed to be going?
And you didn't see it the whole time, but
Right.
maybe I had a situation where,
Or like you was just keeping me stagnant.
after that, everybody else around me started seeing stuff and saying things that they never said to me before, and I was just like, dang, I never looked at it like that, or I never even noticed that or saw that, but they were seeing it the whole time, and I was just
Yeah.
like, dang.
Wow.
Oh.
Can letting go of those friendships feel like self-care? Oop, I asked it. Oh, I'm sorry. It was on my mind. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's a wrap for today's show. But before we wrap, we'd like to leave you with a quote. Don't ever underestimate the power of a woman with a microphone.
Hello.
Okay.
We got 4 of
Microphone,
us.
honey.
Okay.
That's Elaine Welteroth. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time right here on Point of View, only on Afro TV. Have a great night.